Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Ayada's Corner. We have the one, the only Executive Director of Ayada Leads who is bestowing us with her appearance today. And it is a very special month. If you don't know, it is International Women's Month. I honestly think it's Women's Month every month, but that's a different conversation for a different day. So we wanted to do a very special segment talking about what we love about being a woman. And not only just a woman, but we are Muslim women, we are Black women, so we get to walk this earth with a number of different perspectives. So we're gonna have a very casual conversation about what we love about all of those different things. So before, though, we jump into the conversation, I'd love to have Habon introduce herself. I'm a big fan. You're probably already a big fan, but, we give her the spotlight to talk. So, Habon, all yours.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Sagal, for the kind introduction. I am, as Sagal mentioned, the Executive Director of Ayada Leads, and happy Women's History Month. As all you know already, March is the month we honor and celebrate women's contribution to history, to culture, and to society. And thank you for actually saying that women also we're part of the other 11 month of the year. Therefore, it's not just the month of March that we celebrate women, but the other 12 months of the year. And one of the things I would love to actually mention a little bit is that it's true that it's a Women's History Month, but history is not just what we learn or the story of the past, but it's also how we what we learn from the past, how we prepare for the future. And one of the things that we actually learning from in Minnesota, the state we live at, is that the last 50 years, the great success and achievement that our state made came because of women joining in various aspects of the society. And therefore, the success and the greatness we are seeing here in Minnesota is because women actually joined in a different aspect of society. The same with the community we work with, the African diaspora community. We succeed and we are improving and achieving much more because women of our community are also stepping into leadership positions there. That helps when all of us, men, women, and everybody else, participate in society, we are actually better off and we are contributing to society.
I love that. And also, I think we should be very particular on how we define success, because women are also the pillars of their family, not just their community, but there are thankless jobs like stay-at-home moms, women who sacrifice everything to really raise their children and make sure that they have the right opportunities to be who they are. So shout out to stay-at-home moms, shout out to professional moms, shout out to just women who are dominating whatever field they are in. We want to celebrate all of you. And this is not scripted, by the way, this is on the spot. I do want to give the floor to Habon, because Habon has dedicated her entire career to create leadership opportunities for women, to train women, to actually see them become leaders, not only in their communities, but in public office, which we can talk about too. But I want to ask you, what made you, did you wake up one morning and you're just like, I just want to create a nonprofit organization? By the way, Ayada means she leads. What inspired you to start this nonprofit? Because she's a founder. And just even before, I think you did your doctorate's program around women in leadership. What really made you want to explore that path for yourself?
I have been doing I have been in this field for the last 25 years. And one of the things that I always was passionate is women and leadership. And when I did my research, one of the things I realized was that me getting into helping women to get into leadership position, whether that is in the civic leadership or in any other leadership of women who, as you mentioned earlier, wants to stay home, how we uplift them and how we recognize that their value that they are adding into the society was because of how my mom always wanted to help other women and how she helped all her daughters. My family is we were 7 daughters and 2 brothers. We lost 1 daughter and a brother. But I grew up in a household where my mom was always giving us the equal opportunity, saying what you can do, he can do. If you want to go to school and get an education, I believe you have that opportunity to do yourself. So I never realized that I was growing up in a household where who I am and what I wanted to become was valued. And I recognize now, looking back, my mom, Alayya Rahma, she passed away in 2003, and I said my mom was the household and my home is because I was about to say my abo, my dad passed away when I was really a year and a half. So I don't have any recollection about him, and therefore that is what gave me that that strength is because of my mom, and I always recognize. And she was really a feminist in a country where maybe we never thought what feminism is or what womanism is at all.
Oh, I love that. So your first example of leadership was your mother.
Exactly.
That's a really, really good answer. So in terms of just being in love with just all experiences of womanhood, what is your favorite thing about being a woman? I mean, there's a lot, but like if you had to choose one thing that like you feel like, yes, this is such a blessing, like I can't believe I get to experience this for the rest of my life.
Being a woman is a beautiful, complex, difficult, and I can go on and on. I use all the adjectives and adverb or words that I can think of. And I love all of it. I can't really pick only one because that's what makes all of our wholeness, right? Being a woman means being caring, being an emotional person. It can mean everything, and I love all of it. I love being a woman, although I don't know what else.
You're like, I've never experienced it.
I don't know.
This is all I know.
Right.
And I want to stick to the complexity of being a woman, because I think, like, especially women who have to juggle multiple hats. Let's say, like, you're an entrepreneur of a business, but you have to go home and feed 4 children. I think women have an art of balance between their different roles and the obligations that they carry, and they do it in a way that is so effortless that people don't understand the difficulty of being a mother, an entrepreneur, a founder of an organization, a full-time professional. Like, I think people just assume we can do it all, and that there's no difficulty in that, and that hardship doesn't exist for us, when in reality, I think we have to, and I don't care what age you are, you have to teach yourself what self-care looks like, and putting yourself first oftentimes is shamed, because you're expected, like, and you know, I can't particularly speak to this experience, but like, if you're a mother, you're not expected to have a hard day. You're not. Like, it's just like, you're supposed to have an easy day, like every day you can't complain. But I think as women, we have to learn that there are hard days and there are days we have to pick ourselves, and that doesn't mean that we love our loved ones less. It just means that in order for us to show up fully, we have to fill our own cups. And I think that there's this shame in picking ourselves. Can you speak to maybe examples of how that has happened in your life, or like how you've started prioritizing yourself when society is telling you that it's wrong?
I'm not good at self-care. I have been pushing myself so hard, and one of the things I'm actually learning now is to take care of myself, and it's because of a society or the culture we grew up. Is women have always have to give 100%, if not more. And that's what is expected. And as what I said earlier was, it's difficult being a woman. It's because of how always we have to demand our rights, and how we always have to work in the places where our equality is not even taken into consideration. And so that difficulty, it makes us that we have to always push harder so we can be more visible and get the rights that it's our right that we deserved. But then doing that work comes burnout, comes with frustration, with stress, and you name it. And we have to take care of ourselves. And we also, one of the things I'm realizing is we live in a society where taking care is something that it has to be individual. And we don't open the door to be a collective thing. Why, when you, Sagal, you see me overdoing, why you don't just say stop and take care of yourself? Or let's get together and have something that will help both of us and do this collective caring. That will be something I will be more open, because this mentality of that is your responsibility as individual is something that oftentimes I'm struggling, or I struggle, and I would love to see more a collective caring than individual. And there was something else that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I lost it now.
I love it. No, I've never heard of collective care. That was the first time I've ever heard of that. More of like a communal thing. Which, on that note, we had a celebration this week where we invited women from the community to come together and celebrate being a woman. And I think just from the feedback that we've gotten, a lot of these women haven't shared a space like this since COVID started. And there's something healing about being in community with other women, where we didn't have an agenda, we didn't really have a program. We just like invited women and we're like, we'll bring the food, you bring yourself. And it was the most radical healing that I think a lot of us experienced, like to the point where we had to actually tell people to leave, which we are not those type of people. We love fun events, but it was a work night in all fairness. But so what, like I just, one, this was something that I think really shows us that we should have more of these spaces, and that we are better together than better on our own. Is that why you founded Ayada Leads, to create spaces like that?
Right. I wanted, because I started earlier telling you why, the reason I get into these spaces and creating the funding Ayada Leads was because was something that I would love to have when I was starting my career, my life, and wanting also run for public office. I never had that support because of where I was living, because of how was not seen a normal thing, women to have an ambition or desire to run for public office or become a leader. And that's why I wanted to create spaces where we can support women, we can tell them, you can be whatever you want to, and then have also the support system that she can fall back whenever she desires to, if she wants to pursue her leadership or if she wants someone to cheer her up, we are here to helping her. So that was something I desire for myself I was not available. And when I moved to United States, I saw that that was still lacking for many women who wanted to and have the support of other women. And I thought, if not me, who else was going to do this kind of, who created this space? And that's where I sat down with many other friends, women I know with our community, and that's how Ayada List started.
Oh, so powerful. Many of those women are now in office. No, I think this is good. This is good. I personally want to say that, and I wanted to share this story, and I've shared it with Habon many times, but we might as well do it on camera as well. I also had a desire to seek out spaces where women were supporting each other, and very early on in college, I realized that there weren't such spaces. There were spaces for Muslims to congregate together. There were spaces for Somali people to congregate together. Different communities had different spaces, but I haven't seen a space that was intentionally dedicated to centering women, supporting women, uplifting women. And I met Habon at an event. She was a keynote speaker. She was talking about just her doctoral program and her journey into leadership and how she's created her nonprofit. I didn't get a chance to speak with her the night of the event. Fast forward a year later, I was given her information because a very close friend of mine knows how deeply I want to be connected to things like that, where there are spaces where women can come together. And I met Habon, I think it was at a coffee shop. I basically told her I was looking for her. Am I lying to you?
No, that's true.
I'm looking for you. I'm looking for you. And I get so excited that other women can meet Habon, because her legacy will always live on through me, through other girls, through other young women that she's touched. So I really do feel like this is a very special segment, because you get to get the flowers that you deserve. So yeah, like that is our segment. International Women's Day is every day. Go thank your mother. Go thank, if you have a sister, go thank her. If you're a woman, go do something special for yourself. If you are a man who's watching this, go thank your, the women in your life. I just think, again, as a reminder, it's not just March, it's April, it's May, it's June, it's July. It is a continued effort for us to acknowledge the contributions of women in office, in leadership, at home, outside the home, whatever that might be. And from us to you, we wish you a happy International Women's Day.
Happy International.